Welcome back to the Cop End podcast. Today I'm joined with Povey and Tasker. How are we both doing?
Yeah, not bad yourself.
Yeah. Today we're going to be talking the latest squad updates. I think a good place to start is probably Ibou Konate. What are we thinking?
So fun, really. I mentioned it last time we were on. I was saying I can see him running down his contract and going Madrid or Paris.
Yeah.
And with the Guehi thing now, the rumours, I reckon there's a good chance that's happening. There's been talks behind the scenes already.
Yeah, before we move on to Guehi, I think, with Ibou, I saw an update the other day. He's after 200 grand a week, which I'm not sure. Maybe the next contract, you're probably talking the 200 mark. I don't think this one.
It's a lot. But if you put him in the bracket of like who he's better than the league in terms of centre backs, he's definitely up there. He's probably top 5, maybe. But if he's not top 5, he's bordering on top 5 at least.
Yeah, he's definitely top 10.
There is an argument that he does deserve that kind of money, and it's one of them. How hard is it to go out on the market and replace someone like that? It's tough. And okay, like you say, it would be a decent replacement, but we do also need depth in that position. So it is a hard one. It's not just as easy as sell him then if he doesn't want to sign a contract. It would be good to keep him for another year, at least if we're going to challenge for the title next year. So we need someone like him in the squad.
Do you think we can? The issue is if he played 38 games a season, wouldn't hesitate the club throwing 200 grand at him, but there's never a season where he gets over the 25 mark, is there?
I think the issue with if you give him 200 grand, there's going to be a lot of others knocking on the door at the same time. Like I saw a table, and I think he's currently on 55 grand, which is the same as what Diaz is on, I believe, still at the moment.
I mean, that's not true. I've seen something about Diaz.
But yeah, apparently Ibou's on 55 a week. You've got the likes Kostas on 75. But Kostas has obviously been in for 5 seasons now.
He deserves at least 150.
Yeah, he deserves an increase from 55. But I think, like I say, like if you give him that 200 grand, other people start knocking on the door.
And it's like when Salah signed his contract a few years ago. Before the last one, or before that, people were talking about, well, he's worth it, breaking the wage structure that we had. When we ended up giving him 250 grand a week, it just means that now, like, obviously Virgil is up there because he'd want similar money. I'm sure Trent wanted similar money before he left, but it's tough because the way obviously money goes, it is that you are paying world class players that amount of money now. Like Liverpool, like they are a little bit stuck in the times where it's good because we pay them decent
even though
wages,
it's not
and a lot of
it,
it's performance bonus. It's performance related, which is good in my opinion. It gives them motivation. Whereas a lot of other clubs, they'll just give you 200, there's 350 grand. Like I'm sure shows on about that.
You look at the likes of Chelsea. They were
Chelsea, United, and it's not worked for them. As United, they've got players now.
But you can't get rid of it.
And we have players that want to come and play for the football club and want to play football. And like you look at like Wirtz is a massive one this season. Like he's turned down Bayern, he's turned down City, and he's came to Liverpool.
I can't think of a player who's turned down in recent years.
I know
City to come to Liverpool. It's a massive statement, that, isn't it?
And they probably would have thrown.
And they were after Kerkez as well, weren't they? Like, so that's 2 players straight off the bat there.
Exactly.
The times are changing, but yeah, it's tough one with Konate because that performance-based contract is brilliant, but apparently I've read stuff online, like, don't know who it is, that's what's offended him about the contract talks, about the performance-based thing. He wants flat-out thing, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but it's like that. They do that with every player. You can't complain if that's the case.
If that's the wage structure, it's the wage structure, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. But like you say, there's not a lot of top-class centre-halves out there at the moment. And obviously, I think with us already getting rid of Kwanzaa this summer, we now need probably 2 centre-halves.
You could look at Guehi.
Because we needed another one in there at the time.
Definitely, yeah.
Gomez is injury-prone again. Great player,
he's a good backup.
You're not going to get him, are you?
He's not a starter, yeah. He's not the level of Konate and Guehi.
But he becomes your Kwanzaa, doesn't he?
Yeah. That last season, Gomez was superb, though, weren't he? And then again,
even this season before he got injured.
Yeah, he had a good squad run, didn't he?
He played well at left back last time he was in the squad. I think
his utility.
He just needs to run a games, doesn't he? he does definitely need a run of games.
Yeah.
I think sometimes he gets thrown in and he's not played for so long and he makes a mistake.
Yeah, everyone expects
It's hard when
get
you
your
get thrown in the squad like that.
Yeah,
It's tough.
it is very difficult.
Like you said, who's going to come in to be a backup?
No, like I look out there now, and like even when you watch the European games, you don't think there's like any. There's obviously decent centre halves, but no one stands out anymore.
No,
like
There's no Van Dijk, is there?
Growing up,
the
you
Van
used to be
Dijk
able to
replacement
name
on there.
20 top players in each position, like easy.
Yeah, like even in the Premier, you had the likes of Terry, Ferdinand. Yeah, the lot. Like you could quite quickly name like 5-10 players. Yeah, but now it comes to mind.
Name good ones, don't you, but not world class.
Van Dijk, you've got Saliba.
Van Dijk, Saliba, and maybe Gabriel.
Gabriel's up there, yeah.
I don't think they're world class. They're decent, but they're not like they don't stand out.
No.
And I'm trying not to.
At Barcelona's been good, but it's not really calling world class just yet.
Yeah, exactly. It's got to be a run of seasons on it. It can't just be like a one-off half decent season.
Yeah.
But there's no one out there that I sit and go, you know what,
Bastone's the one. If there's anyone that's a Van Dijk replacement, it's Bastoni.
Yeah. Well, there's talks about Hato, isn't there?
From Ajax,
yeah. I've not really seen a lot of him.
He's young. He's still
left-sided. He can play left back as well, can't he?
So he's not really what we need because we've got a left-sided centre half.
It'd be a good backup.
I think Guehi plays on. He's right-footed, but he plays left centre back, and then you're thinking he's not going to play over Van Dijk. Is he coming straight in to replace Konate? You just don't know. So being a World Cup,
it's massive.
Guehi's not going to leave Palace, where he's captain, just won an FA Cup, to think I could be back up to Konate.
Yeah.
You're not going to, are you?
That's a good point.
I think it's the worrying thing.
I think he does know, though, that, like you said before, Konate doesn't play every game.
Yeah.
And he's going to get chances in the squad. And if Guehi's playing better than Konate, I think he will get that spot.
For me, I think Konate's gone next season on the free anyway.
Yeah.
The interesting thing was,
you're already going to start planning.
The start of last season, I don't think Konate is exactly what Slot wants.
No.
I think Konate is more of like a stopper. Like he's good at winning the ball.
Yeah.
But he's not the best at playing out the back.
Did he not have a little pop of him early on in the season, and then come out and said he's improved a lot on the ball? Do you remember him coming out? Slot said something.
Well, he started the first game against Ipswich. Jarrell Quansah started, and Konate was fit.
Yeah,
and that was that. I thought that was interesting because
him at half time as well, didn't he?
I think Quansah, the main thing he's got over Konate is his ball playing ability.
He's good, yeah.
And I think that's what Slot wants, and I think that's like why we were looking at Huijsen as well from Bournemouth.
I didn't even think of him. Yeah, he's a great player, by the way.
Yeah, he's just gone to Madrid on it.
Yeah, that first game I saw him play the other week, I was pretty impressed.
But he can play. He plays like a midfielder, like he's passing. So like, I think that's what Slot wants in that position more than what Konate offers. But I could see Konate leaving just.
Yeah, the issue with Quansah is though that he was just crap at defending. Like he had that mistake in him, didn't he?
Yeah.
Whereas, do you know what? Oh, his first season on the cloth, he was good. Really good.
I think he's another one that likes to win games.
Yeah. He just misses a little bit of pace, and concentration at times.
I don't put too much criticism for Slot, but I think that killed him that first game when he got dragged out of time. Had all his confidence.
But at the same time,
I don't think Jurgen would have done that.
At the same time, though, I like Slot for doing it. If it's not working, get it changed.
I was thinking, I do agree. It's one of them, isn't it? What do you prioritise? His
winning
sort
games.
Of morale, or
you're not here to keep people happy.
What I love about Slot, though, he is ruthless in that sense. Where he's brought Quansah off. I think Klopp is the greatest Liverpool manager in my generation, our generation. Yeah. But his only downfall is he plays around the squad plays where Slot seeing Quansah, he's not fancied him, and he's gone, I can get 30 million in for him. I'm going to get rid of him. There's no point in me having him around the dressing room, playing here and there. I can get better in. And I think that's ruthless where we need to be to get to that next step, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
As a club as big as we are, we can go out and do that, even though we haven't in the past.
We haven't, have we?
It's like still great business still on Quansah.
Yeah.
30 million plus 5 million add-ons with a buyback clause.
It's not bad. And you get the 100%.
That's it.
Profit, don't you? For the academy.
Yeah,
he smashes it at Leverkusen. He becomes one of the top 10 defenders in the world. I think he's got that sort of ceiling. I thought we buy him back, and there you go.
What is it, 60 million the buyback or something?
Something like that.
60 or 70.
That's not bad, is it? If you've got, like you said, if he grows to that level.
But the thing is, like you say, because it's an academy player, it's basically 30 million.
Yeah.
Because we've got 35 for him. He
Yeah.
comes back for, I don't know, whatever, 65,
Yeah,
70.
that's
You've only
profit,
actually
isn't it?
spent 35
I'm
million.
sure there'll be a sell-on fee as well if he goes elsewhere, won't there?
I saw a sell-on fee, but I don't know whether it was for Kwanzaa or someone else. Can't remember. I did see a player that's gone out with a sell-on fee.
Yeah, I think Klopp would have just kept him around him for, I can work with him
Yeah.
and I can get him better out of loyalty.
He was too emotional, I think, Klopp at times with players like that, keeping them around just because, like, it was part of the journey and stuff like that.
Yeah,
Instead of
yeah.
actually, you know, thinking they're not quite good enough to get us to where we need to go.
Yeah.
But another good example, I think, is at the minute Harvey Elliott.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of talk around him leaving. He's just smashed it at under 21
He got
euros.
five goals in 6 games.
That's
hasn't
has it, a good 10 mil to
Yeah,
his price as well.
He's a good Liverpool fan as well, so it's like you don't want to get rid of him.
No.
Like, even though he doesn't fit in the squad anymore, you don't want to get rid of him.
That's it. Like, where
like,
can you put him?
You've got to if you're going to be ruthless. Like, so
Yeah.
Like-
that again, it comes to being that ruthless. Get, I don't know, 25 to 40 million for him.
I think you've got to be looking 45-ish, at least.
Dortmund
45 plus 5.
Dortmund and
something like
Leipzig, I reckon, would be willing to pay that. And if I was him, I'd want to test myself. But then,
But it's another one of those as well, the World Cup. He needs games to try and get in the squad.
exactly. But do you know what, though? Part of me's thinking now, Konate situation and the Elliott situation, maybe they don't want to leave because they want to be like with everyone after the Jota thing, do you know what I mean? Because
There's
of the hoard, and
Yeah.
you might think, do I want to leave at this time? Because Elliott's already come out and basically said he wants to go, but now he might, I don't know. Do you know what I
it's
mean?
going to be a weird stage for them, I think.
It's hard,
'Cause
isn't
obviously,
it?
how many teams come up with like a player they're actually playing with passing away? It's near enough unheard of.
It is.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's going to be like pre-season starting this Monday coming. I'm not sure when I'll get this episode out, probably next week, but pre-season would have started by then.
But they've postponed it, haven't they?
Well, yeah.
Oh.
That's the thing. Like you see some of these players now. I'm just showing you there, Cancelo and Ruben Neves in tears before the match, and as much as I didn't like it the way he left, Trent, he's basically all on his own there. It's like in his training, like you said the other day, and you know it's not really been given time to get over it. Whereas the lads at Liverpool are getting that time.
I think in that respect, it may have been Trent's decision to train. You don't know. Some people need something to take their mind off.
Yeah, everyone's different, aren't they?
Yeah. But as a squad, you've got players that will have played with them for the last 5 seasons, seeing them every single day. So you don't know how it's going to affect the team. And
it's your family, isn't it? You see even more than your family, really. There, traveling.
You can tell the team's like really close. Ever since Klopp and even this year, like last year, so you can tell how close they are together.
But it also brings the football into like insignificance, like at this point, especially so early on.
That's what I mean. Like it's tough on the players, very tough. Like to be playing games and training and stuff. And
that's what I mean with the Elliott situation, where he could go to Leipzig, could go to Dortmund, but he's away from everyone completely. I know it's only a couple of hours flight. We'll go to Brighton, wherever, but you want to be around your friends, and like you said, it's insignificant now, and you might want another year in Liverpool, don't know.
Yeah, well, we don't know.
I don't know if it influences transfer, but yeah, I could definitely see Harvey doing well if he did decide to leave.
I think he starts everywhere.
He's just a player that needs games, and he's shown us what he can do. Like I saw a clip the other day of the goals he scored. Like I think it was in the last season or so, and they were all screamers. Yeah. And you're like, the kid's got quality. He's just obviously he's a bit small. He's lacking maybe that little yard of pace.
Yeah.
But the quality's there.
I think his best position is in a 10. As a 10.
Yeah, he's just not going to get it.
He's just not going to look. Yeah, plus we've got Thomas Lauvert's just coming. He's not getting in over them.
As well.
Yeah, it's like he's not getting in front of them, unfortunately.
No,
and like even England as well, it's the same. You've got Bellingham.
Yeah,
like
it's one of those things. You just don't.
Palmer. It's like
made his debut. It's like 15 and like
it's mad. Like how long he's been round. And he's,
Fortunate.
what is he, 21?
22 now he is, yeah.
22 years, yeah.
He feels like he's been around for ages.
How many years has he been with us? 5 full seasons, is it?
It can't be 5.
been playing a long
Yeah,
time.
he's been here for a while. But yeah, it's a difficult one because he's obviously in a really difficult place where you're obviously at a club where we are winning stuff at this time. But at the same time, you've got to balance that with playing games. Whereas,
he's got his taste of winning it now, hasn't he? And he's like,
Yeah.
I've got that with my boyhood team. Now I want to put myself first. It's the
Yeah.
kind of statement he gave in the under-21s first interview, didn't he?
Yeah.
In the tournament.
Whereas I've heard Kostas has said the complete opposite. He's
Yeah,
turned
you
around and
sent me a
said,
thing for it.
like,
yeah.
I'm happy to be here 15 games a season or 25 games a season as long as I'm a part of this. Which he's I think he's 29. He's similar age to us. He's coming towards maybe the back end of his career.
I do respect that, to be honest.
Yeah,
you know, there's a lot of players that were willing to do that.
No, again, he loves the club, but I don't think he'll even get that much game now with Kerkez. And it looks like Robbo's staying now as well. So,
do you reckon?
I do, you know. The Madrid thing's like strong cold on it.
Yeah, the Atletico thing. I don't think he'd go over there anyway.
I think he would.
I think he would have done.
Do you not think he'd go like Scotland or something like that?
I think he's still too good for that.
I could definitely see him doing a job at like a lower Premier League side, even like a mid-table side.
I know what you mean. I just can't picture him though at a lower team.
It's like we were saying just before we started though about Walker going to Burnley.
Yeah,
you're going to go to a lower team who naturally are going to have to defend more. It's just going to make his game harder than it already is now. Because if you look at the games, we have.
No, but he does play a high line with us. Whereas
yeah,
if he's at
but we've
lower
also
team,
got the ball.
you're more likely going to be playing more of a low block. So you're not.
Yeah, but you're constantly under pressure doing work to defend. Whereas we
I don't think defenders is a problem. But...
No, I'm just meaning in terms of like the amount of effort he's going to have to put into a game. It's going to be a lot more. Whereas we have the ball for 65, 70% some games. We have a lot of the ball. He's not having to do a lot of graft.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. See, like Tasker said though, the amount of running he has to do with the ball, it might suit him at a lower team. But if I was in, I'd definitely be looking at the MLS, mate. Nice hot country. I can't see him doing that either, but somewhere like that. Oh, Italy, slow pace.
He's not going to do
it. He is a Celtic fan, and that, isn't he? So like you said, he could go. Oh no, they just got Tierney back, haven't they?
But I think that he could finish his career somewhere like there.
He plays centre back for Scotland, didn't you know? Yeah,
Tierney does. Yeah.
It's
how old is he now? Robbo, 32.
30, I think it's 32, 33 by age, yeah.
You could definitely, like, if you was to tell me between Tsimikas and Robbo, who would you want to keep?
I'd
Robbo.
Yeah.
So there is a world where we keep Robbo and sell Tsimikas onto someone.
But I also think Tsimikas does a decent job on the slot, getting forward and whipping
He
balls.
does, yeah.
Like, I don't think we have a better
he's defensively good enough.
He switches off.
Yeah, he has got a good left foot on him. Like, he can whip the ball in.
I don't think anyone whips a better ball in him than him at the club at the moment. Yeah, he does switch off at the back. Like, he can make stupid mistakes. But you can't help but love him.
No.
Yeah, he's one of them. He's a bit of a cult hero, isn't he?
The team's just full of characters, isn't it? Like you were saying before, it's a boss team.
Yeah, it's a family, and at the end of the day, from players to fans.
See what Tsimikas put with his Jota tribute about when they both come on. I think it was Forest away. Do you remember?
When they both came on.
They both come on, and he said, Jota said to him, "You cross-eye score," and it happened, didn't it? Like you said, he can deliver a ball.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. Yeah, and Kerkez as well. You can whip a ball and.
I'm very excited to see him play for us next season. It's going to be.
Well, it's very attacking now.
Yeah, scarily attacking.
Like, they're just going to stick Van Dijk in the back and hope for the best. It's going to be up the pitch.
Konate's got his feet up, saving himself from the head next season.
Yeah. I heard on another podcast, and I don't agree with it. I can't see it. Slot's never played that system before. Say Konate does stay and we get Guehi in, the three centre-backs at the back, but
we need more depth.
Do you know what I mean? I disagree with it, but if you're playing all three, there's a good chance of someone getting injured there, isn't
there?
The
one time I thought about that was when we were linked to Alonso. And I thought
that would have been his formation, isn't it? Yeah.
But I think we did it in a couple of games. So we went 3 at the back, didn't we? Where he just started chucking on forwards.
Yeah, what was
There was
the
a couple of
what was
games.
that game where,
Just throw the kitchen sink.
I think in the
sort of thing.
Was a
the
couple
final
of
against
games where he
Newcastle, do you remember that? Oh, he had about 10 up.
Yeah, I was like, what's going on here? And then Chiesa comes up and points it in.
Yeah.
He's another one. You don't know what's going to happen with all, like, especially the front
Been
line.
mixed reports, isn't there, about him like not liking England and
Should he be more than happy to stay at Liverpool?
yeah,
Like he doesn't at Liverpool, but he wants to
he
play
was
for
really
the team.
happy
Yeah.
when he joined, wasn't he? Like,
Yeah.
he seems like a good character to have around the club.
Yeah, he
just
loves
wants to play,
loves
though,
it,
right?
loves the club,
Yeah.
doesn't he?
But he'll
Doesn't
get a
like
chance
he's
for
in
that next
favour
season.
with Slot though.
You've got Salah going missing for a month next season at AFCON.
See, I've heard other things as well about I think, what's the name, Chiesa thing, where it wasn't a slot signing, and apparently he was like, I'm not playing him out of that because you didn't get the player I wanted in.
Mm.
Is there any truth to that? You don't know. You know what I mean? But
I think Slot because I don't think he would have agreed to join if he
yeah, because
obviously
you're in the
it's Michael Edward and Richard Hughes are the
Yeah.
ones that pull the strings behind like with the transfers and stuff.
He needs to
Slot,
try and get the
Slot would have been
stuff
well
out.
aware of that before he joined.
yeah.
I mean, you see the highlights of Chiesa, and he's got
Yeah.
quality, but he's in a position where you're not going to get in again.
Mm.
But, I mean, well, it would depend on what happens with Diaz as well, but Diaz looks like he's staying now as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can definitely see Diaz staying.
And now you've got to think whether Nunez as well. Like, there's so many things that could happen. Is Nunez potentially going to stay? There's no real talk. No one's came in for him.
Apart from Napoli.
Napoli, yeah.
Apparently there's been
weren't they?
nothing formal. They were looking for 70 mil, and apparently they're way off.
There's a few Saudi teams, and that's gone quiet as well. Linked with Nunez, hasn't it?
I also seen something about the Napoli president saying we do want Nunez, like he's going to go back in for him, but I don't know. It's a tough one, that. It's
I do think Nunez, if he goes anywhere, like Italy or Spain, it'll be unbelievable. It'll be unplayable. But if he goes anywhere else in the Premier, he won't.
No, he doesn't go anywhere else.
he needs to change the scenery, doesn't he?
Yeah,
No one
100%.
in the Prem's going to buy him after seeing him play for the last 3 or 4 seasons, whatever it is. Like,
Yeah,
it's just not going to happen.
bit, aren't you, if you differently. Like, I still think there's a player in there somewhere.
There is.
Oh, there is.
We've
mate.
seen it. He played against us.
Yeah, yeah.
I think a lot of it's mental, but he just can't seem to get over that mental block, that hurdle. So,
We talked about on the last podcast.
he's had
didn't
too
we?
much time, hasn't he?
Yeah. The thing what he can't have as well is time. Like, when he coming against Newcastle, scored them 2 goals.
Yeah.
He didn't think about He didn't think, and he scored. Against Bournemouth, where he got the long ball, he miscontrolled it. He's not thought about when he's like curled it in as anything up. When he's not thinking about it, he's brilliant. And that's like.
And then there's like it's bouncing across the box and he overthinks it.
Yeah.
So many times one on goal, you just know it's not going to go in.
No, like I was said on the last podcast, I can't remember the Champions League game this season, but I was at it. And he's took, like, the ball's been hit over the top. He's took an unbelievable touch, gone round the defender, gone round the keeper. And even then I was like, he's not scoring. And he hit the post.
Like, he done it against Villa, didn't he? When he scored, he took it round, and I thought, he took it too far there, then he slots it in. But when he missed an open net like 10 minutes later, you're thinking,
how do you do that?
How do you do it?
We do need to. I mean, you can't be a starting striker for Liverpool.
No.
I can see him, if he does stay, being an impact player coming on and
dude, really, like, no one,
just because he does cause chaos. Like, I know it's a cliche thing to say, but he does rag centre backs about, and
he does. Yeah,
trouble.
you can see him giving the verticals and that, and his pace is frightening. But
I don't think he's not a starting player. Yeah,
he is the modern day Darwin goal.
You've just got to play him like as an impact sort of thing. If we do end up keeping him,
but again, you don't pay 70 mil to sit someone on the bench and be an impact.
You don't, but
you buy that for 30 goals a season.
That's not worked out like that.
You look at United. United did the same with Højlund, didn't he? And he's just not worked.
Yeah, I do think Nunez has got a lot more things going for him than Højlund.
Yeah, but they were both bought in to do the same job, and neither of them have really done it. So, yeah, it's a strange one.
I can see. Obviously, they played a lot of it last year, but Diaz going into the central area, because I seen reports of us looking for actually a left winger more than a striker.
Okay,
and if that's the case,
Diaz through the middle.
Diaz has to go in the middle.
Yeah, I'm not a fan.
I think it was our best starting 11 last season when we had Gakpo and Diaz on the
We
pitch
haven't
at
even
the same
talked
time.
about Gakpo, have we?
I can't full class. Yeah. I like Diaz on the. What you like Diaz through the middle? Yeah.
Not necessarily, but I think it was our best lineup.
Yeah,
We had
like
Diaz in the middle and Gakpo starting as well, because I think Gakpo offers a lot. The way he's playing the
him, hasn't
side,
it? Big time last
he's
season.
one of the best finishers that we have.
Yeah.
He's up there. So I think that was definitely our best lineup. So if we go with that next season, I wouldn't be too bothered by if we start the first game of the season when we've got Gakpo, Diaz, Salah.
No, but then you need to look at the replacements for the three of them in terms of who comes off the bench if they're injured or that's the issue. Last season was the next three weren't.
It's just Nunez
anywhere
really,
near.
Nunez.
Chiesa, but like I say, the slot doesn't like him.
No, they don't trust him. I think that
Plus
plus game, he had a bad game, but everyone did. And since then, he never got a look in again about God's sub appearance.
When AFCON comes around, you've got to replace 5 to 10 goal contributions from Salah.
Then you want to give Wirtz that responsibility now.
Yeah, I think we unlock a different level of that front three.
Do you reckon he's going to hit the ground running?
I hope so.
I honestly think he's got too much quality not to.
Yeah. Do you reckon? Yeah.
Like I can't. Like I know it's hard to say whether a player's going to do well or not, but I think if you just watch him play, like you can't see him not doing well. Do you know what I mean?
The thing is, I just hope we don't overcoach him into a system. I think he's a player that you've just got to let go and do it.
Yeah.
But to be fair, we give him a lot of freedom.
Yeah,
Salah gets a lot of freedom. I don't see why we would.
But yeah, he's just in that position where you do get more involved.
Yeah, you don't want a classic Mourinho coaching everything out of him.
Yeah, exactly. You've got to leave that sort of player to do.
Or Grealish has done it to Grealish anyway.
Yeah, I feel like some coaches just proper overcoach the team to the point where it's like, I even think it with Diaz sometimes. You saw the clips of Diaz when he was at Porto.
Yeah.
And he's rinsing people. He's going
inside. He still does it, doesn't he? But does not very often.
He does it every now and again, but it's often played.
He's got it in his locker.
I think changes the most about Diaz is when you do watch his Porto highlights, he used to smash him from like 30 yards.
Yeah.
He doesn't really do that anymore.
Always off balance, isn't he?
Yeah.
Always off balance. I find, when he cuts in across the box and he hits it and he always ends up on the floor.
He's hard to tackle, isn't he? Like you're saying, he's so...
Soboslai's another one. He used to smash him in for
does every week for freaking Hungary?
Every week.
It's the same clip, every international break. It's the same every
time.
In training as well, you're always seeing clips of it.
Yeah. In a match, he doesn't do it. It's one of them. It's definitely a shoot.
Right, he's done it a few times.
It's definitely a coaching thing. You have to tell him, don't shoot from outside.
Just hit it. If you've got a right foot like that, just hit it. I don't care if 3 or 4 of them.
No, you're in that, aren't you?
It's a percentage, isn't it?
I don't care. You don't know unless you shoot.
It's like you when we used to play. I used to scream to George, shoot. And if you do miss one of them when you've got a rifle on you, one of them's going to go in. And like you said, Sam was like, it doesn't pull the trigger, and it's so infuriating.
Yeah, especially when it's like 20, 25 yards out and it just
screaming.
And you're like,
so last season he was very much like that. And it's like, and then like he does it for Hungary because he's not getting told don't shoot.
Yeah, he's not a mate man, isn't he?
Yeah,
but what you don't, a lot of them do go wide and over like so.
Yeah,
they can. But like I say, you don't know unless you shoot. Like I found there was games last season where if you looked at the stats other than the shots, it was like 70% possession, 30% for them, and then you look at the shots, and we've only had maybe 10 shots, but so have they.
Yeah.
And you're like, we're not having anywhere like enough shots for the amount of possession we've got with the ball.
The only game I can remember that one was
pulling the trigger.
Forest game, literally only one game I can remember where we were just shooting, but we were 1 down, weren't we?
Yeah,
it's like desperation.
I just found that, like, if you look at a City game, you'll see a City game with 30 odd shots, and maybe only 10 of them are on target.
Yeah,
but like I say, you don't know unless you hit it. I think there was times where we just need to just hit it more often.
You've got to be in it to win it. Yeah,
we're trying to score the perfect goal. I found at times last season.
100% agree with that one.
Like, obviously, it's hard to like criticize us when we walk. But like from a progression point of view, I think we do just need to pull the trigger sometimes. You've got like Harvey Elliott that will do that, but Szoboszlai with an absolute hammer won't.
Harvey can hit one as well, too.
Yeah, he can.
Yeah. We've got a few players like that. I think Wirtz will be more like that.
I hope so.
Gakpo's another one, isn't he? He will pull the trigger. Nunez, he will over-try Nunez, to be fair. The one player you don't want doing it, that tries it.
That's the word.
He hits it when he shouldn't.
Yeah, he
Sometimes.
does, yeah.
But at least he's having a go.
That's it.
Yeah.
It's a tough one. Because obviously, if you go by the stats, the percentage of it going in is lower than if you tried to build up the play. But
Yeah. What do you
sure,
reckon?
that's not for the analysts.
What do you reckon about Isak? Do you reckon he's going to come?
I'd love it, but I just can't.
I think he would be willing to leave, and I think we would be willing to offer up the money, but I just don't think Newcastle would be willing to let him go.
Yeah,
that's the problem.
They're not in the situation they were the other year where they needed the money, are they? Where they had to sell for the...
Especially because they've got Champions League.
Champions League,
yeah. That's one of the defining factors.
They'll sell Gordon as well before they sell him.
The problem is, though, he's 27, I think now, 26, 27.
26, I think he is.
He's
got 3 years left on his Newcastle contract, so
yeah, it's a lot.
If he doesn't leave now, he's going to be a bit too old for us to get him in.
Well, he's at the age now where he's capable of moving to a big club like Liverpool.
Yeah.
He needs to be thinking about earning money.
His own career. But
and
also winning titles.
Winning trophies.
Yeah.
But at the same time, earning the money that he should be worth, because I saw a clip the other day and it was, if you're telling me I'm worth 150, 200 million pound, then why am I not getting paid the money that 150, 200 million pound player should be getting paid?
Yeah.
If I'm the best striker in the world at this point.
Well, like, not only that, people are saying he's like obviously better than Haaland and like aspects of the game he is. Maybe not as like out finishing, but his sort of link up play, and he is a bit injury prone. You're right.
If you look at his seasons, I can't remember. Very rarely seen him do a full season, ever. For Newcastle and everything. But then if you're getting 20, 25 goals a year, still in that amount of games, it's ludicrous.
At the end of his career, he's going to think, I've won nothing at Newcastle. I've won a League Cup, or maybe they got win the FA Cup or something next year, but like,
there's no guarantee they're going to have to graft for that.
The Premier League. He wants to be winning Champions Leagues, playing in the Champions League. Well, he is, but he wants to be winning Champions Leagues.
Yeah.
So, like, he's got to make that decision.
I do think he's pushing for it, though. I can see his age in that.
If he really wants to be,
handed in the request.
Yeah, if he really wants to be like remembered as one of the best top Premier League players of all time, he needs to get out of Newcastle, I think.
Yeah.
Because although Newcastle are on an upwards trajectory, they're not at Liverpool, they're not a Man City, they're not an Arsenal, so it's going to be tough for him.
Yeah. Like you said, he's got that trophy at Newcastle. He's going to go down in Falkirk, isn't he? For him, he's like a legend.
For Newcastle, he will, definitely. But
if you want to be a football legend, you've got to go on winning your Prem, winning Champions League, as you said.
Definitely.
And I think it's one of them. We could offer Newcastle Elliott.
There's talk about that,
Say what would you say? 80?
No, I think they're still looking about 120.
120 with Elliott. So an overall thing, it's like 160, isn't it? So, but I'd do it.
It's a lot of money.
I would.
But we do need that striker.
That's it. We're selling Elliott anyway. Why not throw him in there? Throw Nunez in as well.
Take 10 million.
Yeah, take that.
Nunez, Elliott.
I'm not saying, no, you're all right.
Yeah, it's all right.
Knock it down, son. It's all right.
Do you want to bang 2 passes in the
Yes, yes.
You can do it again. But no, I think it'd be mad if he does come. Paying that sort of money out twice in one window is unheard of for us.
It would be.
Can you think of the better transfer window while we've been alive than this?
No.
You can't.
We only got 3 players.
That's what I mean, yeah. I really can't. It's always been an individual, isn't it? Like Torres by himself, Suarez
really joined in January.
Yeah.
He's got to be up there. Like, didn't we get Andy Carroll at the same time?
Yeah.
And Torres left, didn't he? Got 50 mil for Torres, paid 35 for Carroll, and about 35.
It was a bit too much for Carroll.
Well, apparently
Carroll scored 2 on his debut against City. Do you remember that?
Dealing was whatever we got for Torres minus 15 mil, apparently. Apparently, this was the deal anyway.
Yeah, we sold sellers at the right time, didn't we?
Yeah. Oh,
No one could have predicted that, though,
No.
because he was just...
he was
He's a
dreadful.
world beater, wasn't
He was dreadful at that point, no.
Torres?
Yeah. He just didn't.
Oh, just before he left.
Yeah, he didn't come back from those hamstring injuries.
There was a thing as well where the Liverpool, the analyst had seen he wasn't running as much in games, he wasn't shooting as much in games, his passing, accuracy, everything was like so down. And Liverpool were like, 50 million chance, see you later.
I don't know what's better, 50 million, him or Sterling.
Still not at that point.
I know, but he was crap as well.
He wasn't crap.
He went to City and did all right, to be fair, didn't he?
No, he done very good
For
at
us,
City, didn't
he was all right for us. He was a bit young, wasn't he? So
Yeah. Still don't know who the better 50 mil is, though.
I still think in that 2014 season when we nearly won it, though, Sterling was all... Because he was raw then.
Yeah.
And no one knew like else to go up against him, but yeah. So yeah, remember Jordan Ive when we said, oh, he's better than Sterling anyway. Oh,
Now City's disappeared, then. Did he go to Bournemouth and then
he went to Bournemouth.
He went to the lower leagues after that, like really low down.
wasn't he playing for Warrington? Yeah, I was
Someone in around them leagues.
Yeah, that was Andre.
It wasn't right. Yeah, he was definitely.
It was a low league team, no, from where he was.
He changed his name on it to the Nathan Jordan on the back of his
Did he?
as well, yeah. When he went Bournemouth, yeah.
Oh, God. But yeah, should we round this one up then, and we'll say who we think are gonna leave and who's gonna come in then? Just a quick fire.
Yeah, go on.
So, Konate, staying or going?
Stay. This transfer
This season, yeah.
stay.
I want to say he's staying, but the Guehi thing's worrying me. But then the other part of me saying, we've got no cover, so I can't say.
I think he's staying and he goes on a free next season.
I
think he
would
runs his
take
contract
that
out.
role for this season. I would take it.
Who's the next one? Elliott.
Gone.
Leave.
Yeah, I think he's gone.
Yeah.
Diaz.
Stay.
Yeah, I think he's staying. Watoro Endo.
Stay.
He's a hero, isn't he?
He wants to stay.
He wants,
He wants to stay. He comes on and closes the game out.
He loves it though, doesn't he?
Yeah, what can you ask? You can't
You-
straighten him
You
off.
see loads of kids wearing gum shields in the next 2-3 years.
Me and Alex always say, you know, when people take the signs to the game, saying, give us your shit. Say, on, gives you gum shield.
Yeah, he would as well.
Imagine walking down back to the car park with the
Yeah, after these 10 minutes.
Robbo.
That's a hard one.
It's a tough one, isn't it? It's a Tsimikas one. I think he's going to stay. Especially after the Jota thing. I've got a feeling that's going to make him want to be around everyone. Yeah, stay for me.
I'm going to go leave.
I think leave. And I think Kostas stays.
Mm-hmm.
So do you think Kostas is going to go?
Yeah, they won't have all three.
Yeah. So you think Kostas is staying?
Yeah.
Yeah. Isak coming in.
What about Nunez?
Get to him.
I thought you were doing outgoings, but
The fan of me says, yeah, he's coming. But no, I
Say
think
no.
he's going to stay at Newcastle this year, you know.
yeah, I do.
I'm going to say yeah.
Yeah, go on. Have that optimism.
And I think the last one's Nunez, isn't it? I don't think we'll... Oh, Guehi. I said Guehi coming
He's
in.
joining.
Yeah, I think that's
Guehi's
enough
coming.
done.
I think he said he wants to leave as well.
Yeah.
Nunez.
I can see him end up staying, you know.
I'm going to say stay. No.
I think he's going to stay.
But I can also see him going. It's tough.
Yeah, I don't mind it.
If we get someone in, he's got any.
I don't mind him leaving.
No.
And Chiesa.
I think he'll go back, move to Italy, mate.
Yeah.
I'm going to say let go, yeah.
Yeah, I think he's gone. I think that's everyone, isn't it?
I've got one as we were talking about before for next season. Alisson.
I think he's got to at some point.
I think he goes next season.
Yeah.
Just because Taffarel's left,
Yeah.
goalkeeping coach, that he basically appointed,
Yeah.
and we've just got Mamadashvili in.
And there's that
He's
other
not gonna
kid
be
that came in,
working
isn't
to-
there?
Yeah.
Armin Pesky, he's going to be the backup. But like I say, you got Yaros out on loan at the Ajax. If he does well at Ajax, he could come back, be the number 2 behind Mamadashvili.
I want to clarify as well. Last episode, I said he was Polish. I got it wrong. It was from Czech Republic. It's been eating on my mind since that episode. Typo.
But with Alisson, the thing is with any other player, like even with Robertson now, he's lost his legs a little bit. People start to decline. As a keeper, as they decline, it leads to goals, unfortunately. It's just a position they're in.
I don't think he's declining.
No, I don't think he's going to massively fall off or anything. I just don't want him to get to the point where he does.
David
got 2
Seaman
years left.
playing at 41.
Leave the football before the football.
He could play for another.
I'm not doubting that he could carry on. I'm just saying, like,
Do you mean at top level?
Yeah, I don't want him to get to the point at Liverpool where everyone's like,
you remember him, like, because he's
I'd rather him.
It's like a De Gea, isn't it? Where he was a world beater at United, and then he got to the end of his contract, like career at United, and he was like, I know he's doing quite well.
He done well last year, though. Didn't he?
Yeah, but like at the end, he was just making mistakes.
I just don't want him to get to that. I want him to go on a high sort of thing.
I can definitely see him leaving next season. He'll have a year left on his contract. We'll get some money for him. And then Mamardashvili steps up.
It'll be a sad day when Alisson goes as well, won't it?
Yeah, it'd be like a Firmino, won't it?
Yeah, proper legend.
And that's everything, isn't it? All right. Thank you very much for listening to the Cop End podcast. If you've enjoyed this one, drop it a like. If you're new, subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one.